Hello everyone, my name is Scorpion, and welcome to a guide on how to get access to the Deterministic Chaos heavy machine gun available after the campaign. First, a cutscene.
Today, we honor relentless Rohan, his service, his sacrifice. More than a protector of Neomuna, he was a true cloud strider. He cut his years short so that the whole of humanity may thrive far into the future.
Today we suffer, so tomorrow can live on.
After the cutscene is done, head back outside and talk to Nimbus for some dialogue.
Oh, hey, Guardian. Induction ceremony wrap up all right? The citizens did a good job improvising. Traditionally, both Cloud Striders are there for the final handoff, but Rohan wasn't here, so... And if he were, he wouldn't be moaning about the past. He'd be too busy cracking open the veil, jumping through the portal, and knocking the witness back on its multiple asses. You know, the Vex were working on a copycat veil. Oh yeah, Rohan stumbled on it in the Nexus, years ago. It was half finished then, but he was convinced that the Vex had the goods on the original. Goods we'd need one day. Just think! We wrestle the Veil's secrets out of the Vex and we're one step closer to kicking down the witness's door. But first, we gotta track down Rohan's notes. So, what do you say? Help me follow in the big guy's footsteps?
After you're done talking to Nimbus, you are given the next objective, which broken down is essentially defeating Vex targets across Neomuna, collecting a resource from them, and then at that point you will then combine 8 of them into a single data packet. Now, you can literally kill Vex anywhere on Neomuna specifically, and you'll need 8 times 5, so 40 of these things total, but then you actually have to do something that doesn't describe in great detail, so I will tell you. After defeating the allotted Vex targets and actually going about on Neomuna, I would recommend that you then equip a ghost mod for resource finders, because what you need to do is take those resources to a, resource on Neomuna and then combine them into one by collecting 5 different of the resource nodes across Neomuna. As long as you have enough, that will give you the next step in the quest.
Coming in. Want to take a look?
The mission objectives will take you to the place you did your Strand training with Osiris during the Lightfall campaign. If you don't remember how to get there, the game does give you a tracker, but it will also give you basically the route through Neomuna that takes you to the path where you need to go.
Hey, Guardian. Got news from the Cloud Ark. Citizens say they're experiencing some kind of psychostatic tremors. I've logged onto the source nearby. Think it's Shadow Legion. Do me a favor and check it out?
Once you reach the end of the path in the same arena during that Strand mission final fight, you will actually find a conflux to scan, which will also result in another fight. Not nearly as long or hard, but is very similar in aspect, but it will allow you to finally scan the conflux and reach the next step of the quest. Once completing this task, I advise you just turn around and head back the way you came, because even though it does give you a marker for somewhere to go if you fast travel back to Nimbus, it's just going the long way back to the way you just came from. Unless you have the Transmat Zone, then I recommend you take that. But eventually you will meet up with Nimbus and Osiris in discussion.
Too risky. Since when were you scared of a little risk?
The Black Garden does not contain a little risk. As for this second veil, to the vex of the Soul Divisive, it was the Black Heart.
Who cares what it's called? It's our chance to follow the witness.
Except it was destroyed years ago. Nimbus. I understand how grief can make one behave recklessly. But you can't...
Cloud Striders don't grieve. Death is just part of the flow.
Ah, Guardian. Perhaps you can convince our friend that the Black Heart is a dead end.
Hang on. If that heart thing was the same thing as the veil, then its blueprint can be our guide to the real thing. Come on, all we gotta do is follow Rohan's instructions. He's never steered us wrong before.
You're right. It's at least worth a closer look. But please, let the Guardian handle the groundwork. This city can't afford to lose another Cloud Strider.
All I heard was you're right, so let's get cracking! I'll send you a list of what we need.
After this conversation, you'll be directed to the Lost Sector in the harbor area you were just in. In case you don't know how to get to it, here is the path exactly to the entrance. After going to the Lost Sector and defeating the final boss, the big Hydra that comes out of the portal, you'll be given the next resource that required to continue the mission. At this point, you'll want to teleport back to Nimbus, but then head to the park area just in front of the Typhon Imperator, the big Callus ship that landed in the city. Essentially, you're going to be wanting to fighting Shadow Legion, but it is also recommended that you use abilities as much as possible because that will accelerate your progress. Upon completion of said objective, you'll be directed inside of the Typhon Imperator, where you'll be following the same path you did for the third mission of the campaign, where you will be sent to collect a Seed of Silver Wings from Callus's treasure room. Once you collect the seed, you'll be given some dialogue from Osiris regarding Nimbus, but you are told to head to him nonetheless.
That's the last item on the list, and it's a powerful one. We should hurry back to Nimbus.
I wouldn't rush. They're not in the best of moods at the moment. I reminded them that, however broadly they'd like to interpret the Cloud Strider's oath, their duties lie squarely on Neomuna, not in the Witness's playground.
So you convinced them to follow the rules? That doesn't sound like you. Or Nimbus.
I have learned from my mistakes, you know. And I can see when someone is about to repeat them. Nimbus may think they're after the Black Heart's blueprint, but really, they want a distraction from their grief.
How'd they take it when you said that?
They weren't a fan of the suggestion, but they agreed to make the passkey and let you finish the job.
After starting the mission, you will be dropped in a reverse-style Garden of Salvation that will feature a few little puzzles regarding reflections of lasers from Vex craniums, as well as from the gun itself after you earn it. You earn it after reaching Nimbus and having a conversation, and are given plenty of heavy ammo to actually test it out with.
I found this. It's Cloud Strider tech, all right. Rohan probably ran right past this spot when he... Looking at this, all I can think of is how Rohan didn't need weapons or fancy mods. Sure, he liked his gear, but he didn't need all that to defend our city. To do his duty as a Cloud Strider. Which is what I should be doing right now. You take it. Use it to get the blueprint. Meet me back in Neomuna when you're done, okay?
Osiris, we caught up with Nimbus. They're on their way back to Neomuna.
You convinced them. Well done, Guardian. Must be your way with words. But you'll need more than that if you're to reach the conceptual mind before the Taken. Don't forget what you're here for.
We're on the move. The Taken are pulling ahead. Time to really let loose, Guardian. Can't let them destroy the conceptual mind. At least not until we get its memory core.
After the mission is done, you will have to talk to Nimbus one more time, and then there is a kind of cutscene vigil where both Nimbus and Osiris are allowed to lay to rest their close companions. For Nimbus, Rohan, and for Osiris, Sagira. A vigil for both important characters in their lives. And after that, you are officially done with the quest to earn Deterministic Chaos. My name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.